Tough game for the Bears against the Green Bay Packers in Week 14. They come out with another loss. We have some interesting insights as to what happened before the game that led to this. Welcome to Bears Digest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Dylan Guinzy. Thank you for joining me once again. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. 85.9% of watchers over the last month are not subscribed, so be sure to hit that button if you want news, rumors, reactions, updates, everything like that. We're going to be here with it the rest of the way. So, again, tough one for the Bears here against the Packers yesterday. We have a lot to break down. We're not really just going to fully break down the game or anything like that. We have some stuff that we want to talk about, more so pregame of what happened that kind of led to some of the struggles here that we saw yesterday. But we'll also talk about the play, what went wrong, what went right, and everything like that for the Bears going forward. But let me know down below your reactions to this game. Obviously, it's never fun losing to the Packers like we do often. A rivalry game like this, it's not fun. But after sitting on this and, kind of thinking about it more, I think you can only really take out the positives of this for Chicago here. It was not our best game. It was one of the worst first halves that we have played all year. Actually, statistically, it was the worst first half we played all year, and we still had a chance to go down and tie or win the game in the final seconds yet again. That was always a game that the Packers were going to win. They absolutely needed that, like their life depended on it. They were at home. It was also a standalone game. Like, that was just a game that they were going to win. That's what I said on Friday. I said they were going to win this 27-23. It was 28-21, pretty much, similar there. But again, when it actually happens and you actually do lose as a fan, it's not fun to watch or endure that, right? Nobody wants to see that. But I guess overall, going forward, we have some things to discuss regarding the injury front. Some similar guys on defense that we've been talking about all year, and just some weird stuff that kind of happened prior to this game even beginning that we need to get into. But just starting it off, Packers beat the Bears 28-21. The Bears are now 9-4 and 7th in the NFC. Quickly, that turns when you do lose a game in this stacked NFC. This might be the most stacked the conference has been in ever. You could probably say. We'll see how it ends up, but right now, yeah, it's the most stacked we've ever really seen the NFC. 11 wins is probably not going to get you in some certain scenarios. You're going to have to win some tiebreakers and things like that. So, interesting stuff. But the Bears are now 9-4. Packers are 9-3-1. First in the NFC North. There is a chance that the Bears could reclaim that spot after next week. We'll see how everything works out. But there is a lot to play left here. In the season, we got 4 games left from this point. Got a must-win against the Cleveland Browns here this Sunday. But the Bears, didn't do enough to win the game here at the end. I thought Caleb was absolutely magnificent in the second half. You're never going to have this linear progression or this, insane breakout this year, right? It's just not going to happen. There's a lot to work on, a lot to, overcome, especially in Ben Johnson's scheme that takes 3 years to master, right? Hopefully that comes next year. And it's just really some small things that he's got to clean up, just the, inaccuracy on some easy stuff. But his sack avoidance and everything has been phenomenal. And he made amazing plays there down the stretch in the second half, just until that interception at the end. Like he said, he just left that throw short. Just needed a little bit more on that to commit, maybe a little bit earlier. And that would have been another winner, just like, last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. It just wasn't enough this time. He leads the league in fourth quarter comebacks. We lead the league in game-winning drives. At some point, you kind of have to, turn back the clock on that. Just like I said last week, at some point, things just have to step back. That's how the NFL works. That's why everybody loves it, because every week you got a chance and everything, different can happen than what you would expect. So overall, Caleb, not the greatest day overall, considering the first half, but the second half was awesome. I'd like to see that progress. DeAndre Swift was okay. Luther Burden showed some signs and promises there. Once again, the Bears could not stop Christian Watson. That speed and everything like that just plays to their advantage, and we just could not stop him like we usually can't. Josh Jacobs was pretty good, especially when it mattered most. That stop there on 3rd and 1 that we could have had to force him into field goal situation would have made this game a lot differently, but 3 guys could not tackle him, and it was absolutely a porous effort on that play there. Kind of ruined the game in that point. Jordan Love is really good. He's a very accurate passer. But again, like I said, you can turn him over, you can force him into mistakes. We did that, but as the Packers do usually play, they're in advantageous positions as an offense. They're usually not in these like gotta have it moments all the time, right? They're usually just in the flow of the game. They're rolling, they get in rhythm. And that's exactly what Jordan Love is really good at. And he, found that rhythm yesterday after that interception for a while. But the defense wasn't good either until the end there. It was really just kind of lackluster tackling and everything like that. And I got one thing we're going to talk about here shortly that I'm very uh, not happy about, you could say, about a certain player that kind of led to this defense's demise. But TJ Edwards being back was nice. I thought he made some plays there down the stretch. Overall, if you're looking at the stats and the numbers, this is a pretty even game. And I think in the second half, the Bears were the better team and the more physical team all around. And that's what they've kind of been doing most of the year. It just wasn't enough at the end. When you have too many mistakes and you can't capitalize on that turnover that you had on Jordan Love and get points out of it, those thin margins are going to be the difference there in a game like this against a really good team. But all things considered, the Bears proved that they belong in a game like this, against teams like this, in situations like this. They belong, right? They smashed the Eagles last week. They came in here and they lost by a score. They had a chance to tie it in the waning seconds. Just didn't get it done. Thankfully, we can have a short memory and we have them here in a week and a half, 2 weeks in prime time at our own place. So we're going to see what it's like there. I'm not worried about this one. This is one that you just kind of brush under the rug. You lost. You won 5 straight before that. At some point, you got to lose, right? At some point, every team is going to lose. Rams are the best team in the league, and they lost to the Panthers last week, right? It's going to happen. It's the NFL. But now it puts that pressure on when you play them at home here in 2 weeks. You got to win that game. So hopefully that does come true. But before that, we got the Browns coming next. But the one thing I wanted to get into here today, guys, sorry I got into it late. I wanted to break down the game a little bit. But it's this man right here. It's Kyler Gordon. Leading into the whole entire week, he was healthy. He was ready to go. Played against the Eagles, of course. Him and Jaylon Johnson back there are a force in the secondary. Just when we thought we were getting healthy, pops a groin right before the game. I don't know what it is with Kyler Gordon, but ever since he's gotten paid, he has been not on the field. He's been making YouTube videos on the side, just like I'm doing here, but he's a professional athlete. And, it seems just like not focused on coming back and playing. Obviously, yes, freak injuries happen, soft tissue stuff. I get it. But he's been dealing with that the entire year. And then magically before the game, he hurts it again. So I'd imagine he's going to be out this week, maybe for the other Packers game. I don't know at this point. You just don't even expect him to play. So Kyler Gordon going down was just like a sour taste in your mouth before the game even started. And then after that, I know C.J. Gardner-Johnson made some good plays. He had the interception and everything like that, but he was burnt toast and burnt chicken the entire day out there in coverage. They took advantage of him not being very experienced in this scheme for this team yet, although he has been making very good plays since he's been here. I still, yes, am on board for them to re-sign him after this year and bring him back. But he was burnt chicken yesterday. That's just straight. That's just how it is. And he just had no chance in coverage, and they took advantage of the quick slants all day. And that's what the Packers do to us every single time, it feels like. They just got guys wide open that are faster underneath. And them getting Jaden Reed back, too, is a force as well. He was kind of separating everybody out from coverage, and drawing a lot of attention. And on that note, Jaylon Johnson wasn't good either. It felt like he was just playing very hope to not get injured and I get it, right? He's still got to take some time to get back to his true self, but he is not the Jaylon Johnson of old right now. I don't think we could have expected that, but it really showed yesterday against a very, very good opponent in the Green Bay Packers. So hopefully we can get back on track. Kyler Gordon is very upsetting. It's just the story of our season on defense this year with the injuries and the bad injury luck. So hopefully we can get him back, but want Tremaine Edmonds back too, but we'll kind of see how everything pans out going forward. Last but not least, DJ Moore, he was horrific yesterday. I said it on Friday that we needed to win the turnover battle, which we ended up tying the turnover battle. We needed to score off those turnovers, and we needed DJ Moore to perform like the wide receiver one he is paid like, and he absolutely did not do that at all. He was whiny, he was moany, he was moody and emotional, just like he was last year. I don't know what to think with DJ Moore anymore. I think he's being passed up in this system and on this team. I think they trade him in the offseason. There was like a 2 to 3 week stretch, um, 4 to 5 weeks ago, where I was like, yeah, we need this guy. Like, he's important. He does things that other guys can't do. Now he's just really not doing anything. It's just a week by week basis for him, and you can't do that when you're paying somebody 25 million plus to play wide receiver for you. He was horrific yesterday. It's just point blank. He did nothing for us that Rome can do, and he's getting paid 20 million more than he is. Um, Even when Rome was not having his greatest days, he was playing on an injury. He was playing very hard. He was getting out there and blocking. He was doing all that. I just feel like DJ Moore, like when things just aren't going right, he just kind of folds and crumbles. And he did not show what he needed to show there to, I guess, withstand a long future on this team and this season going forward. So DJ Moore's got to be better. I don't expect that we will have Rome back this week or anything like that. It'll probably be another couple of weeks. Really hope he can maybe try to push it against the Packers the next game just to give them something different out there so they're not preparing for the same exact stuff. But we'll have to see how that goes. Overall, guys, I am not too beat up about this. More so just beat up about some of situations like Kyler Gordon and DJ Moore, some of those sort of things. But the team as a whole, man, we showed a lot of resilience, showed a lot of fight. And I think that's going to continue in this Ben Johnson era. And that's just going to be the culture of this team. So I'm excited moving forward what that means and everything like that. But first things first, you got to get a win against the Browns this week, get you back to 10-4, and then you got the chance to play Green Bay at your own place at night, everybody watching, to get to 11-4 and back into first in the division. Everything's right out in front of them still. It's all still out there, so we can't rest on our laurels too much about this game and get too down about this game. We'll be back to a Victory Monday soon. But overall, guys, thank you for joining Bears Digest once again. As always, bear down.